In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friends. This is Pinky.
Or Braca.
And we're here to call out all things PakeAsPuck.
I think I'm eating parchment paper.
Why? Oh, because it stuck to it?
Yeah, but it's all good.
How do you like them? She's trying my pecan pie bites, guys.
The size of parchment paper, they're really good.
They are. There's a little bit more paper there. You want to just take it out?
Let's not do that.
Yeah.
Yo. Okay, do you have a story? Because otherwise I have a story for you.
Go for it.
You ready for this?
Sure.
It's so good.
Okay. Is it juicy?
I mean...
Yes! I love juicy!
I guess so.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Okay. So, we're at Disney.
Uh-huh.
And the day that I'm at Disney, I started my period the night before.
No!
And it was so gross. So, I had a little chat with the kids and just let them know, I'm like, hey, mommy's not feeling so good. I started my period. I'm feeling a little tired. Please don't climb on me. Please don't pull on me. Just, one of them was just like banging into our body when they get tired. And I'm like, please don't do that. Like, I'm not up for it, you know?
No.
And so Neil went on one of the coasters with my daughter because she's tall enough. And I was with the boys. And I had to go to the bathroom. Like, I tried to hold it, but the line was going to be like 45 minutes or so. And I was just like, okay. So we go to the bathroom. I'm already paranoid because we're at Disney. Like, the kids are tagged up, but, like, you know.
Yeah.
So I had to go to the bathroom. Both my boys are with me. I waited for the handicap stall, and I directed them to come inside and just turn their head and, like, hang out with each other. They had a toy in their hand. You know, like, I tried to do all the things.
Yeah.
I didn't want to over-explain myself, but I was just like, Mommy needs a little bit of privacy. Just hang out over here. As soon as I'm done, we'll get going. Do they listen?
No.
No, they do not. Because while I'm in the Disney bathroom, I have to explain to my older son, why is there blood leaking out of your vagina? No, just like Mickey Mouse. He's asking me, there's blood leaking out of your vagina.
Why
is there blood leaking out of your vagina?
Now he's gonna know.
I explained to him, I'm just like, it's because Mommy doesn't have a baby growing in her belly. Oh. That's blood. Do you need a Band-Aid? So I'm having this, like, full-on conversation in the bathroom, like, while I'm trying to, like, wipe myself, okay? Like, it's not working.
Did you be like, yeah, I got a pad. That's the Band-Aid, bro.
Right, and so then they're watching me. Like, they're observing me.
Yeah.
Take care of my situation. And the little one needs to recite everything. Oh, you got to put it on your underwear? That's the Band-Aid for your vagina? And I'm like, yes.
Do you know how many people were laughing?
I'm certain. I'm certain. And they're just like, you don't have a baby growing in your vagina? And I'm like, no, there's no baby growing in my vagina.
Ever. That's
why Mommy got her period. This is a period. I would appreciate it if you would give me some privacy while I clean myself up.
Just turn around, bro.
Yeah, but then I look over at him and he looks a little concerned. I'm like, baby, it doesn't hurt, Mommy. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay. And he's like, you're leaking from your vagina. I'm like, oh my God, just let it go.
He's not going to let it go.
And then they're talking about it the whole way home. Like,
no. The rest of the day.
They're still talking about it.
They're still talking about your vagina bleeding.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I got asked even today, a week later.
Is your vagina still bleeding, Bob?
Are you still leaking from your vagina? That's what he says. Are you still leaking from your vagina?
I can't believe he asks you if you're leaking from your vagina.
He asked in front of my mom. That was the best part.
Oh, what did she say?
On Monday we had conferences, so I asked my mom to come watch the kids after school so we can go do, like, we had to make up conferences, right?
Yeah.
And okay, they had to, like, tell my mom all about it. Be like, Mommy had blood leaking from her vagina. Was she concerned? She was mortified. She was just like, oh my God, Ali, but do donuts. I'm just like, well, yeah,
I had to say, I can't leave them outside.
I gave a very surface level explanation as to why I get my period. You know, thankfully they didn't ask, like, well, how does the baby get there? We didn't get to that point.
But, like, was she expecting you to leave your two sons outside of the bathroom?
She wasn't. It was just the fact that I explained it to them. Like, what was I supposed to do?
Just be like, it's paint? You're not going to lie to them.
No, I told them. I gave
You should ask her what you were supposed to do in that situation. See what she would have done.
She don't even know how to explain it. But she had us Both of us went through similar
know.
traumatic experiences
I
where we
know.
thought we were dying.
I thought I was dead. I was like, why are we not in an ambulance right now?
And they didn't show any sort of urgency. Instead, they went to the fucking kitchen to make gunsar.
Yeah. As if that's going to help, now that I'm a woman.
That we have to announce to the whole family.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
God forbid we, like, in casual conversation,
Talk about
discuss
vaginas.
the fact that we have cramps. I don't feel good. Like, fuck, I just felt a clot ooze out of my hole.
Yeah.
You know, we can't talk about that. That's
too
unacceptable.
much. It's too much for their delicate
No,
sensibility.
these are really good.
I know, thank you.
Really
It took me 10 years to perfect this recipe.
I'm gonna have to brush my teeth after this, but
There's another one for you.
No regrets.
Or you could take it home if you want.
Oh, fuck no, then I have to share it.
No, eat it here.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can eat them when they come to their Christmas Eve party. It's taken, I can't believe how, like, we don't count COVID years, okay, for the Christmas Eve party.
It doesn't count.
It doesn't count. And the year after, because we couldn't have the party the year after either, because my older son got COVID. Like, we found out the day before. I was like, you ruined it! And everybody was excited because the year before we didn't have it, right?
Right.
And that COVID year...
She goes, like, all out, okay? I've only ever heard pictures. This will be my first time attending.
No, 2020 was supposed to be the 10-year anniversary of us having the Christmas Eve party at our house. And the first time we did it, we what's it called? We did stockings, right? And so I was like, okay, it would be nice to do a 10-year anniversary, kind of remake your stocking. That way you can, whoever was a kid then is older now.
That's so
they
cute.
all love crafts. I always have an ornament or some sort of craft idea.
Did you think of a new one for this year?
I'm still searching, but because I'm on a time crunch, I think I might just start recycling the last 10 years. So the second year was salted dough ornaments, and then they just decorate them. So they were like gingerbread houses, trees, and I think stars. The thing is, I don't give people too many choices of, like, I might give you like one or two options, but I won't give you like, these are all, like, because I'm not making all that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not doing it.
It's a lot.
And I have to make it not just for the kids.
Then you have to accommodate, like, so many more iterations of
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah, and I'm not doing that. And even for decorations, like, I could take everything that I have in my vagina cave and be like, here's all the decorations, have at it. But I take a very limited amount upstairs, because if I don't, that peninsula does not get emptied out the whole night.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tempted to put, like, a craft table up, like a table up maybe in the sunroom or the garage or somewhere, and just have the craft be there, and people can go whenever they want to do it throughout the evening,
Instead of the counter.
Yeah, because people use the peninsula to eat when we start serving food, but, like, the food is served throughout the whole entire, you've been to other family parties, so.
Yeah.
But we did perfect how to keep the naan nice and soft. You have to use a crock pot.
Okay.
Yeah, because
it keeps the steam together.
yes, and it forces people to put the lid back on versus the foil. People don't put the foil back on.
It is dry and
it gets
gross.
and hard, and the steam, like, we leave it on warm, and then she's still directing you.
Okay, Google.
Oh, I had to get a new phone too.
You got a new phone?
I had to, because I dropped my other one on my walk.
Oli?
And the bottom portion of the screen was, like, blacking out. And I was like, I don't need this on top of everything else I'm dealing with right now. That's why I had asked you about your privacy screen. And then I was like, I just need a shatterproof. I didn't get the note. Because I was like, it's $300 more. I'm not doing that. So.
Yeah.
I got the baby version, but it's fine.
That's the baby version?
It was either the note or this. It's the S24, right?
Mine's 23.
Oh.
No, they're about the same size.
They're about the same.
Why is yours, like, all rounded like the iPhone?
That's the next version.
Yours is the 20. Mine's
the 24, yeah.
Yeah, so yours is the new.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. It's the next version. But it has so much memory now because I can put an SD card in it. My phone flies. You know how I was like, I always have trouble uploading? Nah, I don't have an issue.
There you go.
Because the memory was too low. Memory, Anyways, whatever. What else?
No, I just had to tell you that's right. I thought you'd appreciate
That was spectacular.
my public bathroom at Disney situation.
You gave a lot of the other moms in that bathroom something to
to
giggle
laugh
about. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they needed it that day.
You need a Band-Aid for your vagina?
Because it's leaking.
Yeah, leaking.
Leaking.
That's the verb. Fuck.
Like, how did he pick that one? He probably doesn't know the word bleeding. Or no, he does.
He does.
He does. He's just being silly.
You're leaking blood from your vagina. He had to tell Neil about it, like when he got back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
We have to tell everybody.
The
I
adventures.
bet he'll tell me in December when he sees me.
Fuck,
in the
I
Christmas Eve.
Oh my
party.
god.
I'll be like, yeah.
I wouldn't know.
I'll be like, yeah, una bola.
Son
I'll be like, yes, tell me more.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can't unsee his face though. I was
No.
like, it doesn't hurt me. I'm okay.
At least you were able to like figure that out fairly quickly, that he was just concerned that you're in pain.
Yeah, like
Because blood
when
usually
you're-
means pain for him.
right when you're looking at your 5-year-old and they're just like, it's like concerned / constipated, you know.
Oh my God, 5.
He turned 6.
Yeah.
Right after your party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. He's going to be able to go to kindergarten next year.
He's already in kindergarten.
No. Wait, I thought you were talking about your little guy. Your little guy's in kindergarten?
No, he still has 1 more year.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I thought you had
He
your
turned 4.
little guy. It was your
It was
the older
The
one.
middle one. Yeah.
He was the one that was like,
He uses leaking, and then the little one is like, "You need a Band-Aid for your vagina?"
I think I would be mortified though if one of mine asked me that.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, you got to roll with the punches, right?
Well, yeah. My job is to answer your questions. Like, sure, ask me anything.
To what level of detail? We're not going to discuss
Right.
that.
We can tell that there's high level options. You know, just sometimes you have to think back to like corporate. Just answer the question.
Yeah.
Don't give away too much.
And don't put any
create a
emotion
problem.
into it. Yeah.
Right. Just answer the question that is being asked.
Yeah.
And then if they have a follow-up question, answer just that question. We don't need to throw out more detail, create any sort of confusion.
No.
Nope.
No.
Just
Because it does. The more you tell them, the more information you give them.
right. Let their brains churn and process, and then they'll ask their own follow-ups. It's okay.
They will.
Yeah.
They will.
We're gonna leave it at that for this age. So
That's amazing, though. I do like that. I'm glad that that eventually you did. I mean, overall, the wedding part was fun.
yeah.
But then the Disney part too. You know,
So this was my first time ever going to Disney.
like
Like I never went as a child.
you didn't.
No. And the only other Disney experience that I had was that time when we went for JDA.
Oh
to Disney
yeah.
Springs.
Yeah, that's
But
not.
that doesn't really count. I was pregnant at the time.
Yeah.
And
And then we went to Universal.
yeah, not the
No.
same. And I
Mm.
couldn't ride on anything. So all I saw though, I was like 4 or 5 weeks pregnant with my second one at the time.
Yeah.
Nobody knew so early. And I just saw these exhausted parents
Uh-huh.
pushing the strollers.
Uh-huh.
And I made a commitment to not go until my children could walk.
Yeah.
We still got the stroller to push them because I think that worked out easier and I could keep them contained.
And only the crap that you have.
Right.
Yeah.
But like overall, I didn't feel like I was schlepping children around, you know?
Yeah.
It was more just,
Why do
we walked them
people
up.
like I've never understood that. Like why do people bring little kids outside of the fact that up to a certain age they're free? But like that child is never going to remember going to Disney. Like if you take a baby, like when we went to Disneyland, I asked my husband this when we did our Anaheim like family vacation, right? I was like, why are there so many babies here? And he's like, well, because babies are free and this is probably the only time they're going to be able to come as a family because it's so expensive to come to Disney for all the Mexicans that are there.
that doesn't appeal to me at all.
It does not appeal to me.
Like that's not how I would want to spend an entire day.
That's not how I want to spend $150.
No.
They can't go on any rides because they're not tall enough. Like at least
like
wait.
even the adults can't go because one's always watching a child.
Right.
Not my ideal way of spending money or time, for
Right.
that matter.
Like as soon as your kid is tall enough to go on the rides, then for sure. However age that is, because you
Yeah.
know every kid grows differently, whatever.
Yeah.
But like at least then they can, you know, paisa vaso, right? Like
To some degree, yeah.
because they can go on the
They
rides.
can walk, they can eat stuff.
Yeah.
You can also enjoy the rides.
Like I can't like whenever we go to Six Flags here and I have to pay $17.99 for 4 chicken tenders, I'm just like, I could have bought 2 bags of chicken tenders from Sam's for this amount of money.
Yeah.
Like it
Six
hurts.
Flags does not have options. I always pack like the cooler and we'll go outside and eat.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
I'm not
like
doing that
I
shit.
think the older the kids get, we might have to do that.
Yeah.
But like we get season passes now, and so if you get
Oh, nice.
you get like when you get the cup and the popcorn bucket,
Mm-hmm.
like you get at the beginning of the season, and we did that this year.
Yeah.
My older son got the popcorn bucket, we got the cup, and we just kept taking it every time we
Yeah,
went,
yeah.
and I was just like, oh, this is great, but we're drinking so much soda because it's free. So like I was saying, today we found out that somebody was trying to steal $50,000 from our business account. So I'm laying down and I have an alarm for when I have to like get up and get going, right? Get shit done. My husband comes over to me in our bedroom and he's like, hey, did you authorize a check for $17,000 plus
The fuck?
and another one for $24,000 plus to Ashley something or other? And I was like, no. If I did, I would have told you. That's an astronomical amount. I would like $100, no big deal, right? Like if I need it for like the merch bag or something, or like for tips or whatever. But that much? No, I would have said something. And then, but I was so like out of it, because headache, whatever. And then he's trying to call customer service, and they're like, you and your wife, all the account holders have to come down and
There was
figure
a
that out.
check?
So we go there. We go to the bank, and we're like, "Hey, can you help us?" So we you know the T-shirts I have for tour, they're from a company called Manhead, and we had to the first tour, even though they had my credit card, they weren't processing payments for some reason, and so they came to me at the second tour, and they're like, "Hey, you're backlogged this much," and I was like, "What do you mean? Excuse me?" And then
But
the
you weren't checking the transaction.
right, and so we were on a payment plan to pay off however much we owed this merchandising company, and we wrote them a check for 17,000 and whatever in July. That was the last check,
Way
check.
more than 90 days.
Right,
Right.
check, right? And so we're like, okay, that went through. We went back to the statement from July. That processed. It was all fine, right? Because the amount was the same on the first fraudulent amount, like when my husband asked me.
Yeah.
And so the
And
lady,
that sticks out to you, right? Like 17,000 is a very clear number.
Yeah.
So you're like, when have I ever made a payment?
and it was
that?
like exactly the same amount as the payment that that was successfully processed in July. And it was supposedly pending from November 28th. So just recently. Okay? Just listen. It gets more interesting. And so she brings up, we bring up the statement from July, which shows us the e-check, right? And the e-check, it's like the stupid crude drawing, right? When you process checks and stuff, like it tells you which ones got processed. We don't have physical checks, okay? Because we don't need them. We just do everything. And so the check, my husband's like, here, just make sure this is the right one before we show her. And everything is written out, like everything is filled out using like Arial 12, right? So this person got their hands on this e-check from July, and they wiped out the 2, they wiped out the memo, they wiped out the date, they changed the check number, but what they forgot to change is there was this additional number, and it was the same on all 3 checks, the one from July and then the 2 from this month. And so and she showed us, she flipped the screen around and she was like, is this your handwriting? Is this your signature? And immediately we were both like, absolutely not, on both of them. We were like, absolutely not. And so then all 3 of us are looking at these 3 checks together, side by side, the real one and then the 2 fraudulent ones. And that's what happened. They took that, because the amount was the same, down to the penny. And so luckily we found it. Because she's like, you guys are lucky that you found this, because I've had a lot of business owners come in after the time frame of when they can't get it back, and they get so mad at me, and I'm like, I mean, it's their fault. She's like, absolutely, it's their fault, but they don't see it that way. They see it as the bank's fault. And so now, we have to, tomorrow morning, we have to go get something notarized because I need to sign it. It can't wait until next week, obviously. We got to get it done, right? But like $50,000, this person thought that we would not notice 50,000, like not even if one check processed at a time, because 17 and then 25.
Some people are very negligent.
Yeah, they don't look at their shit.
Yeah,
that's insane. And I'm pretty sure what he's gonna do these next couple of days while I'm gone,
coddle it.
No, he's gonna go back and he's gonna make sure that there were no additional large, like, outs from our account to make sure.
And they usually do like small transactions first.
Yeah.
And then go for the big money.
Yeah, he's probably going to
double
check that.
well. Shit.
And like so that
But it wasn't that company. Somebody else got a hold of the check.
well, so he's gonna call the company tomorrow just to
Was it somebody within like in house?
So the name that the checks were made out to, the first name is Ashley, and the last name is different than the Ashley that we were dealing with at the company. Yes, that's why my husband was like, is it the same Ashley? And it's not. They just changed the last name. So we have we have two phone numbers. My manager gave me a phone number, and then I replied to one of the emails from July. I was like, hey, we have an account question. Can we please have a phone number? So she gave us a phone number. So he's going to be on the phone these next couple of days to figure this out, because even if it wasn't them, like the company itself that did it, they need to know that their employees are being janky. Like,
yeah.
Like, what are you doing? That's $50,000
that's gonna fuck
that you tried to steal from somebody. Like, it's like I got
from a client.
like when I saw these two checks, when she turned that screen around and I saw somebody's handwriting, and I was like, bro, that's not even your handwriting. Like, looking at my husband, I started to like I was getting mad.
But the check didn't clear, right?
Luckily, it didn't.
Okay.
They were able to stop it, right? But I was just like, if he had not checked, we would have been like, this would have been something that we fought about.
You still could have brought it up like slightly after the fact if it went through. It's like, I never authorized that. Like, we need to put a stop on it, whatever. But still, what a pain to have to deal with that.
Like, see, what I don't understand is you spent so much money. Whoever did this spent so much time and energy into doing something so wrong, like doing something so bad, doing a criminal act, when they could have just put that smartness into something positive, right? Because the skills show. Because I was looking at this, and you know the job I had, right? We dealt with Photoshop. I deal with Photoshop now, making all these graphics, right? Mm-hmm. And to that degree of clearing out those fields,
that's a lot of time.
Because it's not just like wipe it out with a whiteout pen.
No, but AI now makes it so easy to do some of that shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy how quick they can do it.
Right. And I was just like, the saving grace was that singular number that they didn't change from the OG check in July to these two fraudulent ones. There was a number that should have changed, and they didn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, good.
That's negligent.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the second was the fact that we have never, and they have it in their history, we have never purchased physical checks. So I was like, there's no way that somebody stole my checkbook and was starting to write checks. And so she could see it, that we weren't lying, and she could see all of like the consistent ins and outs that we were like. We're not big spenders, everything's just for this new world that I'm in. Mm-hmm. And I was so mad. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like
they didn't know who they were messing with. They see keep up with her.
But not even. But then I started thinking about all the people that don't keep up with it, and maybe this is one of the main reasons why a lot of people are in debt, is because people are just, like you said, they steal small amounts first because it's easier, and then they go for the big stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, okay, well, how much else have they taken? Because we know everything that comes in, right? It's not a lot because it's the business account. It's just stuff from either the tour or social media, right? And so we can track everything. And if I see more things, I'm going to get so pissed.
It's one of the scariest things about, and this is like the conspiracy side of me, with digital currency in general, that we rely so much on just that swipe.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Tabs of it. I'm not saying that we need to go back to doing like pen and paper ledgers, but you need to stay on top of what you're bringing in and what you're spending, and all those transactions that you do go through on a daily basis, right? Like every time you go to the grocery store, you charge it.
Yeah.
And then the gas station, you charge it. Like eventually you're going to lose count.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main reasons why it's so easy to go into debt.
Yeah.
Because you're not
the credit
physically
card.
seeing the money leave your pocket, so you can't
you
can't visually budget, right?
Yeah.
Like I think that's
it doesn't register. It feels like fake money.
Right.
When you're not physically handing somebody a 20 and they're giving you a $5 back.
Right. So it's very easy to just go into debt that way because you're not actually doing the math.
No,
especially
you're not.
when it comes to change.
Yeah.
Right? And then, the other side of it. If you're not checking it, like, every 2, maybe 3 days, things can start to slip.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, I know before I was checking.
And you notice it more, you don't notice it, I should say, when you are bringing in a certain threshold of money, right? Like, you'll notice it more if you're a little bit on the
conservative side.
no, like more like mid to lower income range, right? Like, because then every single penny really matters.
Yeah.
But when you do get to a point where you have a little bit more flexibility and freedom with your financials, then you're like, oh, you're good.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, like $200 on groceries, we're good. That'll cover, right?
Right.
So you're not checking as frequently, and things can start to slip.
That's true.
And it goes under your radar until they make a large lump sum.
Right.
Type
like,
of
bitch, who do you think you are?
Something big like that.
I was so mad. I would like, as I was sitting there and she's like explaining what's going on, we're trying to figure it out. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, it's all. I just kept saying that in my head over and over again. There's like, you couldn't tell on the outside that I was annoyed. Like, on the outside, it looked like I was disinterested. I just didn't want to be there, which I didn't because I was so mad.
That's not what you wanted to do.
No, I did not want to do that. I wanted to be resting and relaxing, not realizing that somebody tried to steal $50,000 from me.
It puts you in a bit of a panic too. It's just like, okay, if this information is out there, right?
Yeah.
You start to worry, like, what other information did these people have on me?
Well, that's why I was like, no, now we need to talk to the merch company because we need to be like, yo, you need to get your shit together. Like, you know, vet out your people. What are you doing? Like, they're stealing from your clients. Like, for the first year, it was your fault because you didn't process any payments with my credit card when you should have been. And then you made me pay all of this amount. Like,
that also feels a bit sketchy, right?
Yeah, like, why didn't you process the payment?
And you went through your credit card history. Nothing was charged.
Nothing was charged.
They just waited till the end.
Right.
And I wonder,
I don't know.
maybe that was part of the scheme too, right? Like, I don't want to point fingers like that.
I don't know, but he's gonna talk to them tomorrow. He's gonna get on the phone.
Yeah.
The next couple of days to figure it out because
And it all happened within a year.
What do you mean?
When they tried to process a different check.
They tried to start processing it last year. And I was like, what? And I was so confused. Like, I had to ask them for all the invoices because I was like, why do you keep sending, like, what do you mean I owe you? Like, I thought this was being handled. I thought that you were taking care of this with the credit card I gave you. And then my credit card expired and I was going back to everybody to tell them, or they tried to process it then. I was like, bitch, you tried to process $60,000 on a credit card all at one time?
That's why I feel like it's a bit sketchy.
Like, I need to make sure I tell my husband to ask them,
like, really
give him all the history. Yeah, I'd be like, first of all, you guys never used the credit card the first tour, and then you made us pay a lump sum, which fucked with our finances.
But then they had a copy of that check.
And then they had a copy of that check, even if it was an e-check. I don't know how e-checks work. I thought the e-check, we just got it because it was an exit from our account. But they wouldn't get a physical copy of a check, would they? Because it just gets electronically put into their accounts. They don't get it.
I don't know how it works.
Right. Like, I think I'm going to see if he can ask that too.
They obviously had some sort of...
They had it, yeah. They had some sort of way of getting it, the image, because we didn't until we looked at... Oh, I'm still irritated.
I know. My mind's going all over the place.
Like, I was just...
I think the worst of people, too.
I do, too. But when you have to pick and choose where you put your brain power, and I thought I was just so mad. And then I think, so this summer, I wanted to talk to you about this, and we can continue into the next episode if we need to. So, I released the show dates for spring, right? And the last show is Chicago, April, Easter. I was like, do we have any shows scheduled for May? And I thought, like, we were going to spread them out, but they're kind of condensed. If you look at, this next 3 weeks is going to be hell.
Yeah.
Right?
It's tight.
Yeah. Like, there's a lot of back and forth because there's 2 concerts I have to be home for. There's a lot of early morning flights I have to take when I don't normally do that.
Morning flights.
I hate morning, because you can't check into the hotel and sleep. So, but I'm going to try, or just sleep in the car. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And so my manager's like, no, I think this summer we need to take a break, drum up the demand, like, she's like, so she's like, take a break this summer, We will have shows starting September again. Let's,
So you're going
from
May
like
to September?
yeah,
That's long.
I know. And so I was like, that's a long time. And so my question to you is, if I went and got a job during that time, would that be like proving my haters right?
No.
Because I quit to do this. Like, I would still obviously keep doing social media, podcast, going and doing 10-minute sets at Zany's Rosemont and stuff. But
First of all, you don't have to broadcast that you took on a job first.
that's true.
And if you did take on a job, that's just you being a responsible adult. You still need to find a way to fund your family.
I just feel like a failure, though.
Why?
Having to go back to work for somebody else. Like, if you had to go back to work because the makeup business wasn't, like, your bridal business wasn't doing well, what would you feel? Would you be okay with it?
I would be upset about that, but at the end of the day, you have to be able to put food on the table. So you're going to
That's
do what
true.
you have to do.
Yeah. Like, I'm at the point where even this summer, I might even just get, like...
And you're not, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No.
like, it doesn't make you a failure. There's a strategy behind it.
Yeah. There's a strategy.
It's not,
like,
it's not like, hey, this isn't working anymore. This is just like we need to build up hype,
Yeah.
right? Like, April's going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
So then, much like a lot of other entertainers out there,
That's true. They take breaks.
You got to take a pause. And quite honestly, it just works out where you can do something else in that matter, right? Like, I was worried about 2025 not being as crazy booked. I've been reading up that, like, usually election years, like the year after the election results in a lot of, like, downside when it comes to, like, independent businesses. So, okay, what are we going to do with our time?
Yeah.
Right? It's another way for you to grow in other areas.
Mm-hmm.
So leverage that to do other things. It doesn't mean that you have to go back to corporate per se. You can
Well, I mean, I know I can't go back to corporate, right?
you can dabble in other things that may interest
I
you.
literally was going to, like, go to Menards or, like, Home Depot or Lowe's and get a part-time job.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So I could walk around and get exercise while I'm jobbing.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Like, I don't want a desk job. I know I can't do a desk job. Like, I love a desk job because I'm good at, I'm good at, Excel, AutoCAD, all of
Yeah.
that stuff. And if I could get a freelancing job being a store planner, I wouldn't mind doing that, but
You
it would have to
like
be work from home.
a community service member, basically. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Okay. I don't, and I know you're right, because I don't broadcast my personal business anyways.
And even if you did, so what?
Maybe I'll generate some business for that. No, I'm just kidding.
You're just not the type of person that's gonna be like, okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna sit.
I can't for that long.
I'm gonna be unemployed.
Not for that long.
No, you're finding a way to leverage your time,
Okay.
still provide for your family.
Yeah.
If anything, it gives you a sneak peek into other people's lives. You'll likely create some content out of it.
Probably.
You're still gonna be a content creator
Yeah, no, that's
through the
not
whole
stopping.
process, right?
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay. Because, like I said, because that's what, May, June, July, August.
It's a long time.
4 months. This past summer was, I can't do what this past summer where I'm just home.
Let's open up a coffee shop.
Ali? What do you mean coffee shop? How?
No, we'll find a way. I have this idea. Either like one of those like play gym areas where you have little kids, but you gotta have something for the parents.
Yeah.
You need to have like there's this play gym that I take my kids to, and like they don't have any food for the kids and they don't serve coffee for the parents. I'm like, what good are you? I'm not allowed to bring food in. Fine, I have in and out privileges, but I don't want to do that with my kids.
Yeah.
Either let me bring food and feed them,
Or have food here
or
I could buy.
provide like decent food for them, not Oreo packets and Sour Patch Kids and Honest Juice drinks and Yoo-Hoos. Like,
Yeah.
no, I want to have a space that can do both, or I think you need to have like a coffee shop laundromat hybrid.
Oh my God, get the
Which-
fuck out of here.
Right. And we can just collect change.
We
and
could
make
collect
coffee.
change.
Have a dispensary in the back. That
Okay.
is like ideal living for me.
That, yes.
Done.
Yeah. Our own business. But that's a lot of what I've been thinking about these past 3 weeks that I've been home. Is just like, okay, well, we got, like I said, spring.
We should go door dashing together.
Oh my God. I don't know if people can handle that.
One person drives, the other one dashes.
Yeah, there we go. Also, I was okay. We'll leave it on this. I was going to propose that because we always talk about going on trips together, right? And we just need to do it. So I think January will be a good start. Okay, and I think in January, because I'm not busy in January, you're not busy in January.
I'm not busy till like April.
Right. So I feel, so that's the first reason. We're both, our schedules sync up. The second reason is because around your birthday, you have your son's birthday, and around my birthday, you have your daughter's birthday. So in January, we take a birthday trip together every year. Right? Right?
We've been doing it for the last 3 years, right? Like January, February has kind of just been
That's
our
true.
little getaway. Somebody usually ends up sick.
No, this time you're not taking
It's
your
not
phone with you. Or you're turning it off.
No, I'm not. I've already said it. It's not happening.
You're
I
not.
don't care.
Because what are you going to be
Google
able to
it.
do? You're a
No.
whole ocean away.
Yeah, Google it.
Shit.
Google it. We have doctors in the family.
There
Call
you
one of
go.
them.
There you go.
They're going to be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yes. I think
So
that's
that'll
going to
be our
fun.
annual birthday trip?
Yeah. We'll just go halvesies on it.
Fuck yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And even if we have to like, so my cousin in New Jersey, she goes on solo vacations all the time. And she goes through, or like her and her daughter will go, but she goes through like this travel agency, like they take
She does,
you
like, a full-
do tours and stuff. And so I was going to ask for their number and we can like look into that if that's something that, to help us facilitate future trips. But I figure it's perfect. Like that way, if we go somewhere hot, it won't be too crazy hot and muggy.
We can enjoy it.
Yeah.
I like it. We can start checking things off the bucket list.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So we
let's
got
go.
Wednesday to Wednesday this time.
That's perfect.
We're going to leave Wednesday because
I can't tell you, I call my mom so fast. I'm like, you available these dates? Block it off. And she's like, come to a date. I'm like, I'm going to London. She's like, oh, again? I'm like, don't ask questions. You free to watch my kids or not?
you better keep checking in to make sure she can help
No,
that.
she knows. Neil knows the dates too.
Okay. I was so happy when we like figured that. I was like, oh,
It's a new year. Take the days off. It'll be
it's
fine.
happening. It's happening.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
I just put it out there as a joke, but then it like really worked out, which I'm really happy. So the week before too, my husband's leaving for a bachelor party. So he's gonna go to the bachelor party, fly back, and then we'll fly out the next day.
Oh my God.
That's how it's gonna be nuts.
That's amazing.
It's all good.
He'll be able to recover by himself.
Yeah, well, I'll have everything set up for you. It'll be so easy.
Yeah, it will be. Stop bad. All right. Leave your questions, comments, all that BS down below. We will talk to you next time. Okay, bye.